So we've got a few people joining us, settling in now. So welcome everyone. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. Sarah, will you give us our housekeeping items?
I can do that. Yes. So as you are listening to our presentation this evening, you obviously this is a webinar, so everyone is muted. We don't like to have a lot of background noises or anything like that, but we do encourage participation, and we do want you to ask questions. So you scroll down at the bottom of your screen. I'm sure many of you are probably familiar with Zoom tools at this day and age in the post-COVID world, but there is Q&A there, and so you can click on that tab and ask your questions. We'll get to those probably at the end, unless Carol decides to get crazy and ask some questions in the middle of her presentation. We're just going to leave it up to her. But we also have a chat function, which is right next to the Q&A button. So if you just want to chat and just provide some comments, you can use that space. If you have specific questions, you can use the Q&A. We'll be able to see both areas, so don't stress out about where you're typing. And I also just want to mention that it's really fun sometimes if you use the reactions. So if you scroll over a little bit, you'll see like fun little hearts. So if Carol says something that is just blowing your mind and you want to make sure we all know it, or if someone makes you laugh, you can do the little cry face. We all like to see those things. It just makes everything a little bit more fun. And otherwise, I don't think there's a lot of housekeeping rules otherwise, but I am going to put a link in the chat section here in just a moment. I don't know how many of you maybe are currently working with Podiatry Content Connection. If you're not, obviously we highly recommend that you do. But if you are already a part of the PCC family, I'm going to put a link in the chat box where you can refer your colleagues. So I know most all of Randy and Carol's clients have positive experiences. And so it's always nice to refer your colleagues and give them a little boost in their marketing challenges as well. So,
and some good giveaways for that. You know, we give a $300 Amazon gift card.
Absolutely. Who doesn't?
Did you just say $1 million Amazon gift card?
No, I don't. I wonder if there is such a thing, but we're doing a $300 Amazon gift card.
You would think Jeff Bezos would
one
be
day.
Able to, you know.
One day there may be $1 million. Yeah,
exactly. That would be fantastic. But then Carol's also going to give you some information about how you can be registered or be entered to win another gift card if you shoot a text message. I don't know if you're entered to win or if you just automatically get it. So Carol, I'm going to leave it to you to give those details. But there's going to be information to text Randy and Carol about getting a free demo and all of these nice things to help you better understand the services that they offer. And obviously it's always fun to get cash and prizes. So I recommend that you do those things.
So one of my favorite things about when we have these monthly marketing tips webinars is that we always learn something. And this is a topic that we haven't discussed all that much about Google ads and Facebook ads.
I don't think anyone's discussed Google.
No, ads. It's brand new. You heard it here first, people. So I'm really looking forward to this one because they always give us such great information that we can actually put into action right now. Plus, they give you the tools and the people and the resources to do it for you if that's the way you want to go. So don't forget, if you've got a question, just go ahead and pop it into the Q&A. Don't let it, run out of your brain, and we'll get those questions answered. And then during the presentation, Sarah and I are going to turn off our cameras and mute ourselves so that we're not distracting and you don't hear our dogs and kids in the background. But we are still here. We're watching everything we're doing. So, send up us some hearts and make us feel special.
Born ready. No. All right. So I guess I'll take it from here. All right. Thanks, Ann. Thanks, Sarah. I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for letting me join you. I'm excited to talk about how Facebook ads and Google ads benefit your practice. I know we get a lot of questions as to, how they benefit or why a practice should do them. So I hopefully am able to answer some of those questions for you tonight. So about me, my name is Carol Hackman. I'm with Podiatry Content Connection. I actually just hit my 1-year mark with them. Before that, I actually did manage a podiatry practice. So I have been on the side also of being a podiatry content client. I've been on their onboarding. Now I work with them. The practice I was working with was winding down, and so an opportunity became available. So I have both been a client and now I work for them. So it's great to see it all come around like full circle. So what anything I speak from, I do speak from experience. So just a little bit about PCC. We're the #1 comprehensive digital agency for podiatrists only. So no, I get asked a lot, do you have a foot fetish? No, I don't have a foot fetish, but I love shoes, but I digress. We love helping private practices attract new patients from the web. We do give back as well to podiatry colleges. So we give back to Kent State, to Barry, and to Temple every month in a scholarship fund. We also handle the online marketing, including Google Ads for Barry University and for Kent State. We were actually just up at Kent State for their conference this past weekend in Cleveland, which was a lot of fun to be able to see actually Ann and Sarah in person again, and to see a lot of our clients and be able to talk with podiatrists and residents and students. Google Ads first started out actually as Google AdWords, that have transitioned into Google Ads. People still will flip-flop between the two. You may not be familiar with Google Ads, but more than likely, if you've Googled anything, you have experienced or clicked on them, they usually pop to the top. They'll say ad right next to them. I'll cover that a little bit more here in a minute. What are Google Ads? Well, they're in the moment ads. It's Google's way of being able to advertise. So it's their what's called pay-per-click advertising. I'll cover that here in a bit. You're able to create ads that target what a patient is interested in at that exact moment. So if it's heel pain and you want to do an ad for heel pain, or target those patients, or target ones that have foot pain or podiatrists, there's so many different ways to target those patients at the moment they're interested in as they're actually Googling. How do they work? You jump to the top of page 1 of Google automatically because you're paying for that spot. You have that, it's a pay-per-click. So when someone clicks on it, you pay for that when they go to your website. So the more you spend, the more clicks you're going to get, quicker results. There is auctions that get involved. I won't kind of get into the weeds on that, but it's something we do help with. And you're able to dominate local searches in the Google area with not only the paid ads, but also organic listings. So, but it goes without saying that being the page 1 of Google is kind of king. It's the cherry on top, and Google Ads get you there quicker. Where you find them now, Google did change this, so I don't have a picture of this. Oh, actually, excuse me, it is on here. You'll have the ads on the top, or now they actually are showing up at the bottom of Google, because people will scroll to the top and they scroll to the bottom. And so it gets you in both places where people are able to see it. But really, you want to be at that top spot. And it will say that ad, if you notice on the screen to the left of right where it says Jeep.com, right below it, it has that ad. So that's what a Google ad is. People click that, Jeep's going to get charged, but it's going to take you directly to their website, and boom, you're right on top. So what's the difference between a Google ad and organic SEO? Well, organic SEO, Google dictates how far that goes. And you have to be able, that organic SEO is built over time. And it also is by adding content, consistent content. That's the key, is consistent content to your website and those keywords to get your organic SEO to the top, top of page 1 of Google. Google Ads, this is what gets me really excited about Google Ads in a lot of different ways. Organic SEO, Google dictates, again, that geo-targeted area for your organic, where Google Ads, you are actually able to say, I want this Google ad to run in this zip code, this city. You get to pick the geo-targeted area. So say, I live in Houston. That's a really big area. That organic SEO is only get you so far. But say you want to be on the west side, but your practice is on the east side. You're able to pick those areas with those Google ads. So that is, to me, is really exciting, because you're able to then target different patients in different areas and different demographics. Why are they effective? Well, Google receives over 63,000 searches per second. That's a lot of searches. And searches for healthcare providers, they're the third most popular search term for Google. So people are always on there Googling for something related to the medical fields. Google Ads work because they employ, marketing, agile marketing. My little things were in the way there, like a little toolbar. And we use data and we help track that as well. We have marketing reports. So what we do, we track them. Google has a way of tracking them. We actually do all the analytics for you, so you don't have to. You went to school to be a podiatrist, to help patients, not to do all this tracking analytical stuff. Let us do that for you, show it to you, get you that information. We find out what's working, and then we make adjustments along the way, and we repeat. And so for instance, you have a Google advertising, we track the shifts in Google keywords and trends. So that way we can adapt to a shift, to accommodate those changes in the Google market. So the secret sauce to Google Ads, like a lot of things when it comes to marketing, is tracking. Success is no accident. It happens all by tracking. So do you know your pay per click rate, your conversion rate? Anybody ever use Google Ads and have done that before? It does take some time. It takes away from you being able to treat patients. That's why we're here. PCC, we manage that all for you, and we review your analytics with you on your review call. That's one of the special things that we do that sets us apart, is we have review calls with our clients. We let them know how their website's doing, how things are performing, if there's any adjustments. We go over that. You can make changes at any time. So it's not just on that review call though, but we always stay in contact with our clients. And all our account managers are Google certified. So what does this mean? They have to pass a series of tests with Google every year to get certified. And we actually have our own Google representative, and we're a Google partner as well. We do that much with them. So we are definitely in the know, if you'd want to say that, with Google. We are there. We are on top of it. We know what's going on. We use proprietary bid software to help us help get you the most clicks and at the best rate to maximize your Google budget. So between our review calls, tracking conversion rates and proprietary software, we're kind of like Google ad magicians, really. Like, we take care of it for you. Boom. We just make sure that, with all that, patients are calling you. You're getting those new patients that you want, the type that you want. That's one great thing, again, about Google Ads, is you also can get the type of patients that you want. And our clients are getting a really impressive return on investment, usually between 8 to 10% ROI. So, not ROI, but the ROI. I'd like to say it's Friday, but it's not. I'm sure everybody knows the feeling. All right, so Facebook ads, that's another thing that some people can get a little, they're not so sure about. They get curious. So Facebook, is it great for business? Yes, it is, because there are a lot of people on Facebook everywhere. It's a huge social media network. Who doesn't know Facebook, right? Who doesn't use it? Who isn't on it minimum 30 minutes, if not hours, just scrolling, right? Who's had that addiction at one point or another? I'm sure everybody probably has. I know I have. It's everywhere, from wishing your friends happy birthday, someone's posting a cool baby picture, vacation, or, okay, let's be honest, I've been known as the queen of memes. Putting a funny meme on there, but you can use it for business. People are there, they're gonna see it. And you're able to leverage your Facebook to help attract new patients. Facebook ads run exclusively through their platform. They don't appear on feeds, but they not only, appear on feeds, but they also can show up in Messenger and even on non-Facebook apps and websites. I've actually seen that, which I thought was pretty cool. So, did you know, this was kind of crazy, might kind of blew my mind when I read about this, that Facebook has about 3 billion users, okay? That's a lot of people. least in my opinion. Over 68% of adults in the US have an active account. That's a few people, to say the least. I think that's a good portion. And 96% of social media marketers believe that of all the platforms out there, Facebook provides the best ROI. That one is, up for debate. Google is fantastic as well. They both have their place. I love it. And I will cover that here in just a minute. How they work. So with Facebook, it's interruptive marketing and call to action. You're able to share them through email, messenger, and through friends on Facebook. And how they're effective is you're able to target through that Facebook platform and their ad platform. You're able to target based on locations, cities, different communities, demographics, age, gender, education. There's so many different things that you can tweak on there to who you want that to target. And you're able to even target based on behavior of the consumer and prior purchases and things that they're also looking up and what their friends are sharing with them. So you can specify an overall amount, how much you want to spend, a daily budget, and you're going to get your, also you can do your cost per result. So kind of like your paid per click, similar that you do with Google, but you're able to set that as well. It's not the bidding like Google is, but they are both fantastic and both help drive new patients to your practice. So how do you get the most out of Facebook ads? You got to know the algorithms and changes. You got to track the trends. You need to choose your campaign goals. Is it for brand awareness? Are you just wanting patients to engage? Are you wanting to get those new patients, which, let's face it, everybody likes new patients, right? Because who doesn't want new patients? Or are you just wanting to get that Facebook post into the engagement, and you're able to make adjustment based on those goals. Question I have gotten a lot: are the Facebook ads and boosting the posts the same thing? The answer is no. No, they are not the same. And here's why. This is the difference. So when you boost this post, you simply have a current post about your brand on your Facebook page. And the money goes behind to reach an audience of your choosing. Where you have an ad, it's a more thought out campaign. You create it within their ad manager, and it allows you an option to be able to, you're able to, like I said, you can adjust based on prior behavior, cities, and all that. That you're not able to do when you boost a post. So there's a definite big difference between boosting a post and an ad. An ad, you're able to be more specific. And here's the goals of the two. So if you want to increase the engagement of your patients, liking, sharing, all that, you want to boost a post. If you're looking for new patients and you want to drive them to your website, you want an ad. That's where those two things make a big difference. Okay, so that's a lot when it comes to just between Facebook and Google. So what does this all mean? So here's a fun little summary, if you want to say that, of each. Your Google ads, they're keywords. The user's intent of going to Google and searching for a problem, boom, your ad is going to be there to solve that problem. Whereas your Facebook ad, it serves, it pops up based on characteristics and preferences about the user's behavior. So it's more interruptive ads, whereas your Google ads, again, are like in the moment ads, and it's targeting what they're looking for at that time. So Google ads put you at the top of page one of Google. It does make you more visible on those searches. Ads, the Facebook ads, there's about 3 billion users, and you're able to target a specific audience. The goal for both of them is to drive more patients to your website and schedule appointments with you, right? Because who doesn't want new patients? Feeling overwhelmed yet? Whew, let me tell you, when I was researching this and as I learned this, I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So let me recap this for you. Don't try it at home. You went to school to be able to help patients. Let us track this for you. Successful leaders, whether business, any company, the CEO has their downline or people below them to help them. So every successful leader in business, they delegate. They know they can't do everything. So let me ask you really quick. Have you ever tried Google ads or Facebook ads on your own and crashed and burned? I may have heard a story or two about this, maybe just a couple. Or have you sat on the sidelines watching your competition or your friends or the ones you went to residency with across the nation, and it's helped their practice grow? Have you been curious about them and maybe just haven't take the plunge yet because you have so many other things you need to worry about? Or did I just pique your interest and opened your mind to a new marketing channel that can benefit you in your practice? So where do you think you fall in there? Well, if any of these describe you, it sounds like it makes sense for us to schedule what we call our web strategy session. You don't need to be an expert on this because we've cracked the code on how to use Google and Facebook ads, and we do all the work for you. So we help you win in Google ads, in Facebook ads we have proprietary software. We do the tracking and analytics. We help you get clarity on those goals. We have the review calls to let you know how those analytics are panning out. We adjust to trends and your goals as those change. And again, we are certified Google partners. So again, schedule your web strategy session with us. It can be with Randy or myself. Just text web strategy session. You want to text Randy. He is 917-521-5088, or you can text me, Carol, at 732-451-7091. And at the end of your web strategy session, we will send you a $50 Amazon gift card. So do I have any questions and Sarah, can you hear me?
We're here. No questions yet, Carol.
Yes,
All
I am
right.
on my way back. I'm
I'm on my way back. Coming running.
coming.
Run, Forrest. It's a good
No,
one.
I don't have any questions, but I do. I liked what you were talking about regarding the difference between boosting a Facebook ad and then actually, I mean, you're going to spend money either way, but just the difference in the ad or the boost. And Ann and I we signed up for this online conference a couple of weeks ago. And one of the tips that I thought was just a really smart idea was doing $1 a day with different pieces of content. So if you have 30 pieces of content, whether it just be, a microblog or a video snippet, just whatever that piece is, and you put it on Facebook and boost it for just $1 and then test all 30 of them, see which one wins, then put more dollars into those specific boosts, for more than $1, and then maybe even take the boost and turn it into something that would be more strategic with an ad. So I just really like that concept of putting content out there and testing it and then figuring out where you can really spend your dollars in a way that your audience is, what they're resonating with.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we did have a question come in. I'm going to get to it, but I'm guessing this is something you can manage for all of your clients, is the Facebook ads and when to do boosted versus an ad in Google. That's something you guys take on yourselves, right? You manage like how productive it is and all that stuff.
Correct. Yes, we do all the tracking. We set it up. We track all the analytics. We make sure that, we help you get clarity on those goals. Like, are you wanting to attract more heel pain patients? Do you want just bunion patients? Do you want just routine foot care patients? We make sure that we are targeting who you're wanting.
Awesome. All right. So Ingrid Stein said, do you assist with reputation management with Google reviews?
Yes, we actually do have 2 systems that we have that are automated that help with you getting you more Google reviews. And I'd love to be able to share more about that, Ingrid. So feel free, you can go ahead and text me as well, or you can keep asking, if you have more questions about that. But yes, we do have very good good reputation management. So 2 systems, one's targeted reviews and one's feedback and reviews. Won't get into the weeds on those right now, but they are very good systems.
Carol?
Yes.
I have my 2 cents, even though I'm having my cup of tea here because I lost my throat. But anyway, it's fun. We just came back, actually, myself and Carol, Sir Ann and Sarah, all of us were at the Kent State University Conference in Cleveland last weekend, which was great. And we always have fun at the booth because we give away stuff, candy and gift cards and this and that. But I wish we can give away Google Ads, because most podiatrists have not tried Google Ads, because I often refer to it as the deeper end of the pool. A lot of podiatrists, and just generally speaking, are, they just don't spend a lot on marketing. So that, maybe they have a website, but they don't do that much. So Google Ads is a little bit different and takes more time. But it's, of course, my dog, I apologize. My dog, when he sees another dog on TV, goes crazy. So he saw a commercial with the dog. Anyway, so I was just saying that most of our customers that try Google Ads, and typically they don't do it right away, they will basically come back for more. So it's almost like giving kid candy that they want to taste it. They like it because and really it's about 3 letters, ROI. Google Ads can be rather scientific. There's some testing and tweaking and A/B testing, but once you crack the code on it, and you're able to go outside of your hometown area, it really enables you to do some pretty interesting things to attract a certain type of patient to your office that maybe, some of our customers were just seeing whoever came through the door, which is perfectly fine, but others really want to be more intentional and targeted, and there's nothing like Google to do just that. So we'll have to think about a way to give out samples of Google at the shows, but I think that would be a cool idea. I know we give gift cards, but just an idea. We do give Google as a thank you when one of our existing customers refers to another podiatrist. But typically, and there's something in it for us there as well, we give them $500 worth of Google Ads at no charge, because we know typically they're going to be intrigued by what happens when they have some Google budget promoting, whether it's a laser or shockwave or heel pain or whatever it is. They tend to see results. It's tangible, and they come back for more. So I just wanted to mention that's how I'm kind of tying in Google Ads to the giveaways at the conferences. But we're in conference mode, and good to be out there again. By the way, it was the Kent State Conference, I should mention, had 305 podiatrists there, so it was good to actually see people in the room again. So that was great. So anyway, good job, Carol.
You guys, what would you recommend for a practice that is potentially not in, let's say they're not in Manhattan. Let's say they're in, like, where I live in Central Illinois, Pekin, and there's definitely more than one podiatrist in the community, but maybe they don't feel a lot of pressure of competition. What do you still recommend Google Ads for practices like that? What's the difference?
Well, I'll answer part of the question, and Carol, you can fill it in, but part of it has to do with what I call appetite. How aggressive do they want to be? What type of patient are they looking for? And then, I think one of Carol's slides was, don't try this at home, like crash and burn. We've come across podiatrists that, I was, spending is the word they use, spending $100 a month on Google Ads, doing it their own. It really didn't work. So they have a sour taste in their mouth. So, by the way, our minimum budget is $300 a month. That's a minimum. If you're, unless you're really in the boonies or the only podiatrist in town, you're going to need some sort of budget. And by the way, if you are the only podiatrist in town, you probably won't need Google Ads because everybody knows about you. But typically, you'll want to have, some sort of at least a $300 budget. And it depends on a couple of different factors, how many, what the competition looks like and what your desire is as far as ideal patients.
Would you recommend that individuals spend their budget more on impressions or clicks?
Carol, you have any thoughts on that one?
Well, with that, so from my understanding, there's a fine line between the impressions and the clicks. Impressions is how many times they show up on when that is searched for on Google. The clicks is how many times someone has clicked on the ad. So your the bigger your budget, the more bang, I feel the bang for your buck, because you're going to show up more often for people to be able to see, to even, so you'll have typically a higher impression, to be able to have that higher click rate.
Cool.
And
No,
then
that
of course,
makes
it's all about conversions, you know, when
Yeah,
they
it is.
click somewhere.
We help with that as well. We track the conversion rate.
Right. I mean, that's really where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. Yeah, good question.
Very good, because that one can get confusing.
So, how does targeting ads work? Like, how do you determine what your audience is or should be, and how does Facebook and Google know how to find those people?
So I'll give them an example. Let's say a practice has just acquired a new shockwave system. And they're like, we really want to monetize this piece of equipment and be able to get more patients like with plantar fasciitis or with heel pain. At that point, we would say then you would want to have you'd want to have Google ads that targeted plantar fasciitis and heel pain, or more of actually heel pain, because more people Google that than know what plantar fasciitis is or what all the signs are. Because then that's going to drive them to your practice. You're going to have that information on your website. You're going to have that you have this laser, or excuse me, not this laser. I was talking to someone else about lasers, about this new shockwave therapy system that you have in your office and how great it is. And that's what's going to drive them to want to book that appointment. So that's one way to be able to do it, is with the new piece of equipment. People want to monetize that quicker, or they're like, you know what, I don't want so much of routine foot care. I really want to get more either heel pain, or I want to be known as like the bunion king, or the one that does bunions in my whole state. Well, then you would want to have more Google ads for bunions than you would heel pain or routine foot care. Hopefully I answered that. I didn't get off too much on a tangent.
No,
what
yeah,
are you
that's
finding
great.
has the best results? Like text campaign, like just words and images, basically static campaigns, or things that involve video content? Are you seeing a difference in the activity and the clicks when you switch up the way that the message is delivered?
I'll be honest, that I am not. I'll have to find out on. I'm not the one typically involved in the reporting on that. So
Sure.
I can definitely get that answer and get back to you guys on that one.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I apologize.
No,
I would assume video, but maybe that's just because that's what I like. I don't know. But sometimes I also don't want to hear a screen talking to me. So I guess
I think it's not video, it's actually text.
And-
Yeah.
interesting.
No, yeah. But so, but
All right,
it's a
so
powerful tool. But and if anybody is ever used Google or curious about it, I encourage you to reach out to Carol or myself. If you want to explore this of how it works, to take a look at your overall web presence. And typically we look at what I call the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if there's a strength that you have, whether it's you have a bunch of great reviews, that's excellent visibility on Google, that's great. If there's areas for improvement, we'll identify and share with you. A lot of times we point out things to people that they're not even aware of. For example, whether it be that their website is unsecure, which tends to drive people away, or if it's not ADA compliant, where it could be fined. So there's a lot of moving parts to it. It's good to know that that everything's in working order and that things are up to speed, and that you're doing all that you can do to attract more new patients, or to attract the type of patient that you'd like in your office.
that's what I love about you guys, is you're not just collecting fees and hoping it all goes well, crossing your fingers. You're analyzing things all the time and having, calls with your clients to make sure that they're getting the results they're expecting. And, you work very closely with the people that work with you. And I think that a lot of people don't realize how much support you guys offer. I mean, we've mentioned this before, but if you've not been on a monthly marketing tips call with us before, Podiatry Content Connection has over 40 people in the background working on your account. So it's not just Randy and Carol, it's a bunch of people out there helping.
Right. Yep. Well,
We do have a team behind us.
And what we always talk about the fact that you are podiatry specific, and that's just honestly that support 100%. You need support,
Yeah.
but if you're working with an agency that does not know what you're doing day in and day out and understand the jargon of your industry, it is a nightmare. So definitely work with Podiatry Content Connection as your partner because they know your industry inside and out. That's all they do.
well, thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Can you imagine having to explain heel pain to a marketing firm and saying, well, a patient might say heel pain, but they mean 1,000 potential things, and like having to connect all those dots. If you weren't in the industry, how difficult it would be to get that point across.
Well, just so much time is wasted there. And there is a major lack of basically critical thought, that the opportunity for critical thought there, because if you only have a basic idea of what these terms mean, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to use the words that actually impact your practice every day. And ultimately, they just won't be able to do enough for you if they don't understand the words and phrases, and in both medical terms and layman's terms. You have to be able to know both of them in order to create, put those two worlds together.
Yeah.
No, it's true. And I'll take a little tangent here when you said layman's and clinical terms. One thing that we do for our clients is we do blog. We blog for them on a weekly basis, and we also have a companion article. So the blog is more of the layman's term. The article is more clinical. So we actually do it, help our clients, and we do both for them.
And it's so important because when you're buying keywords, you have to purchase the keywords. You have to put yourself in the patient's shoes. They're not going to search neuroma. They have no idea what that means. They're going to search. I feel like I've got something, pinching my, something else. I've never had a neuroma, so I don't even know what that sensation feels like. But yeah, if I have onychomycosis, that is not a word that you just hear on the street. They're going to say, I might have toenail fungus or my yellow toenails. Those are the keywords and phrases that they're going to be used. And if you partner with a practice that doesn't understand the medical term and what it means to the patient, it is not going to be a good relationship.
You're going to end up doing probably more work than why you hired them.
Yes, exactly. Like you don't need to provide your agency a dictionary. Like it's a big time waster.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I didn't see any other questions come through. So
yeah, I think you guys did great. I learned that there's a difference between boosted ads on Facebook and an actual ad campaign. I just figured one was the same as the other. They just like to switch it up on you. So
they are different.
So thank you for that.
Yep.
And definitely I encourage you guys to text Randy or Carol, cash in on your $50 Amazon gift card, but also just hear what they have to say. What's the harm? So
right. And definitely stay tuned for next month's marketing tips. So I know you guys saw email blast coming from us this week. So we're going to be letting you know when the next one's coming up. And then obviously anything else that we've got coming, we will have a Practice Partner Academy about first ray orthotics, as well as a product from Darko for offloading. So there's lots of new products on the market that we want to make you aware of so that if they fit for your practice, we want to make sure you're aware of them so you can enhance your practice, your revenue, and outcomes for your patients.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well,
Thanks,
thanks everybody. Randy, Carol, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add?
No,
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
All
for
right,
having me
cool.
on. Yeah. And Randy.
Absolutely. Great job,
Awesome
Carol.
sauce. We will see you guys next month for more marketing tips. Otherwise, have a good night, you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye,
Take care.
everybody.
Bye.